All right, Gus, let's discuss The Lost City. Yo, I'm very likely to recommend this movie because of how cheesy and campy it is. It's stupid funny. The acting is great. You're really immersed in this story, and as cheesy as it might be, you won't get tired of the story, the adventure story, and the action sprinkled in there. It has a lot of layers to it, not in terms of story, but in terms of the different types of genre it uses. It's not overbearing. So yeah, so I'd really recommend this movie. Hey Gus, let's discuss Weird, the Al Yankovic story. I'm likely to recommend this movie, which is a kind of shock to me because I like to go into the movies blind without knowing much about it, so I won't catch any spoilers. And at first, I thought this was a horrible documentary, kind of hacky, straight to TV kind of stuff. But as I kept watching it, it dawned on me what this actually was, and it was hilarious. It was the right amount of absurd. All the actors did great. Uh, the it's just hilarious. It was a good time. You should check it out. Hey Gus, let's discuss The Goonies. Growing up is tough. Being a powerless kid is tough. And that's what this movie did a good job of representing. This movie shows the last hurrah to a friendship you thought that would last forever, but in all reality is probably going to end. And that's why I applaud this story and why I'm very likely to recommend it. They did a good job of showing that emotion and that theme, making it hilarious, adventurous, thrilling in some areas. This movie lived up to its hype. Sound design is great. Sloth's prosthetics is dope. Everything went well with this movie. You would just check it out. Hey Gus, time to discuss The Karate Kid Part 2. Alright, so seamlessly continuing from the first movie, they jump 6 months ahead of time, and Danny finds himself going with Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle to you. It's a well done reboot, and it's not a waste of your time. And if you've seen the original Jumanji, let me know if it's worth a watch. Alright, Gus, let's discuss Shazam. Okay, I'm very likely to recommend this movie, and I'll let you know why I think this is Martha the sequel in a second. But in case you didn't see it, this movie is about a 14-year-old Billy Batson who is an orphan trying to learn about his family. Along the way, he gets powers of Shazam. What I love about this movie is that it takes a more serious tone than most teenage hero movies, and it really focuses on him learning and understanding the grasp of his power, as well as teaching him the definition of family, which brings us to just say the word. Martha's the word here because when he was resisting the family dynamic at first, and they brought up how him and his orphan siblings both didn't have a mom, that's what sparked him to come and fight. Sort of like Batman versus Superman, Martha. All right, Gus, let's discuss Prey. I'm very likely to recommend this movie. This movie is about a brave Comanche warrior who protects her tribe from a alien who hunts predators for sport, among other threats. I really love how simple the storytelling is. It's not overly complicated, so even the smallest movement or misstep gets paid off later as a lesson. So it's really easy to follow. It builds up. You fall in love with the characters. You learn the strengths and weaknesses. They're all balanced. No one's overpowered. And yeah, this and the cinematography was masterfully done. The only negatives I had were the early on CGIs where the animals were too shiny. And spoiler alert, apparently her dog can teleport because how does he just appear and disappear?